What's indeed going on, Jerome's? It's a beautiful Thursday morning. Sun is shining, birds are chirping and stuff. Another Vikings news dump as 'tis the season. He sees you when you're pooping. So it also is a season of change for the Vikings at the quarterback position. Unfortunately, Kirk Cousins out with the popped Achilles, and Jaren Hall, it's your shot, man. It's your shot, baby. That's right. And Kwesi adofo-mensah seems to really like Jaren Hall, which makes sense because he drafted him. Will Wright at Sports Illustrated. Here's Kwesi adofo-mensah talking about Jaren Hall. He loves his poise. Kwesi said he was thinking about Kirk and listening to Creed in his office while driving into all the Vikings cups and reports. I think there's a way he can play that we can function. So, I mean, that's high praise about Jaren Hall. And, yeah, Jaren Hall does have poise. He's got maturity. He can sling it. He's certainly got a great arm as well as got mobility as well. I don't think the moment will be too big for him. So I actually have high hopes. And he's been putting in that work as well. So our guys, Vikings fan page put up a clip of it's from August, so middle of training camp. Jaren Hall putting in work post practice, and then Mekhi Blackman, fellow rookie cornerback, USC, third round pick, who's playing very well in limited work. He deserves more action. He quote tweeted this: "This is every day, literally every day." So Jaren Hall, even before he was a starter, even when he was third string, was putting in that work and getting ready for his opportunity. That's why I do think that Jaren Hall is going to be that dude. I mean, how many rookie fifth round pick, third string quarterbacks put in work after practice? Probably not many, man. Talk about practice. And speaking of Creed, so it's like we glossed over that Creed thing, right? Nah. Kevin Seifert, ESPN, who's not Carl Gershman. Kwesi adofo-mensah listened to Creed in his office while working through quarterback options before the NFL trade deadline. It was a tribute to Kirk Cousins, who had voiced heavy approval for Creed's inclusion in pregame locker room soundtracks. Thus ends my rock coverage for the day. Now, was he just listening to Higher, My Own Prison, or was he going with some deep cut tracks like 101? The only way is one. That was perfect. So I'm sure that Kwesi got a couple of calls about Danielle Hunter. What's up? I don't know why remote control is calling him, but they're like, "Hey, Kwesi, what do you want for Danielle Hunter?" And Kwesi's like, 101. The only way is one. That's right, man. Creed is actually going on tour. They're going to be at TI, and also they're going to be up at like Leech Lake at the amphitheater up there. I kind of want to go. Not going to lie. And not even ironically, like legitimately, I think Creed is a good band, man. Also, I think it's good that the Vikings are going to beat the Falcons' ass, and they'll actually help their draft standing. Andrew Kramer, Star Tribune, clarity from team. Vikings are receiving the 7th rounder from Arizona that are actually originally belonged to Atlanta. Draft hedge for Sunday. Win, but better your 7th round standing. So basically, the Vikings beat the Falcons. Their 7th round pick improves markedly. So finally, about damn time we got some motivation to win a friggin' football game. That's right, man. Also, part of that football game is former Vikings legend Taylor Heinicke. And now, I actually like Taylor Heinicke. He was undrafted. He was undersized. He doesn't have the strongest arm in the world, but he was plucky. The pride of Old Dominion, Norvin Scott Turner, but really Scott Turner scouted and found him. And he worked his way up as a UDFA, became a backup, put his foot through a glass door in 2016 then before Teddy got hurt. And then, yeah, we've explained that. But he's bounced around the league, started a couple games last year for the Commies, actually did kind of well. And now he's taken over in Atlanta because Desmond Ridder is ass. Desmond Ridder is very, very bad. And I liked Ridder in college, but everything that he did in Cincinnati, it has not translated. Has not translated at all, man. But Vikings will be facing Heinicke, just like they faced Heinicke last year. It's kind of funny, man. Something that's not funny is the way that Ivan Pace Jr. Is friggin' playing, man. So it's unfortunate. He's been less a part of the game plan over the last couple weeks, and also, unfortunately, had that really bad hold on the kick return that wiped out the Ty Chandler 103-yard house call. But he's been playing well when given opportunity. PFF Minnesota Vikings, go. Ivan Pace Jr., highest graded rookie linebacker this season, 79.7 grade. And there's been some solid off-ball linebackers in this class. You look at Jack Campbell, among others, and Pace is doing that work. And I think that he's going to be really solid for many years, but maybe a little growing pains right now. Someone that's also a pain is Dausah. He's a pain for every edge rusher that faces him, man. So PFF offensive lineman with 80-plus run blocking and pass blocking grades. So not just a specialist, but an all-around offensive lineman. Jordan Mailata, the rugby star, left tackle for the Eagles. You know, so Lane Johnson down here, as well as Penei Sewell, Pennis Mightier over in Detroit, playing right tackle right now. He'll move to left once Decker is done. There we go. But Dausah is also in the mix. So 3 studs, 3 stars, and yeah, Christian Dausah is quickly becoming one of the best left tackles in the game. I absolutely love to see that, man. Also, something you love to see. So the trade deadline, I think it was great for the Vikings. They got Josh Dobbs for next to nothing, and Ezra Cleveland, they recruited a little bit of draft capital, as well as freed up $1.5 million in cap space. And so this starts and ends that Montez Sweat is a good player. Let me get that out of the way. But the Bears traded their second-round pick to the Commies for him, and it's going to be a very high second-round pick. It might be, top 40 selection for Montez Sweat, which is fine in its surface. But then Chase Young, who I think it has a higher ceiling, obviously, than Montez Sweat, even though, again, Sweat is good, he goes to the Niners for a third-round pick. And that's the Niners' third-round selection, so it's going to be late. So there's a big gap there. There might be like a 60-pick gap in terms because I think the third rounder they sent was their comp pick too. So there might be like a 60-pick gap in between the compensation for Montez Sweat and Chase Young, which is delicious. And what's even better, so Montez Sweat is in a contract year, and this would have been a fine trade if they had a contract extension in hand. Ryan Poles, the genius GM of the Bears, has said that they're working on a deal, but how embarrassing is that? How embarrassing is it going to be where Montez Sweat and his agent just like, no, I am not signing an extension here. I am not going to play under the franchise tag. You need to trade me to Atlanta, where originally I want to go because he's from Georgia. He's got family there, and the Commies and the Falcons originally had a deal in place that would have included an extension for Sweat. So that's got to piss him off a little bit. And basically, it's just like, the Bears can't get out of their own way. And I love that the media is running cover for them. I mean, a lot of jabronis were like, well, the Bears have the Panthers' extra first-round pick, so wasting a second-round pick here is fine. It's not bad. Like, when you're as bad as the Bears are and as talent efficient as the crooked Chicago Bears are, you need every pick you can get. And just because you have 2 first-round picks and they both might end up in the top 3, that doesn't mean that you can just piss away a top 40 selection. It's just... I can't wait. I can't wait, man. Also, something I can't wait for is, so the Vikings embarrass Jordan Love. He is ass. Thank you. And it's just amazing. And apparently some of the cracks are starting to show. Dov Kleeman compiled this update. Packers are unsure if Jordan Love is their franchise quarterback for the future, per Rob Demoski, who's a beat writer for the Packers. Packers GM Brian Gutekunst says he can't say for sure whether Love the long-term future of the franchise at this midpoint of the season. I think we've got 10 games left. These are going to be very important 10 games. All right, so and they worked out a revised deal for Jordan Love where it didn't really tie him to the team. So I think they could be looking to draft a quarterback. I can't wait to see the Bears ruin Caleb Williams and the Packers ruin Drake May. It's gonna be great, man. It's fantastic. But again, I love seeing the Packers melt down, and also you're seeing the national media Jabroni haircuts running interference for Jordan Love too. It's like a knee-jerk reaction. The Packers quarterback is playing bad. Oh, let's blame everything else. They're blaming the defense. They're blaming the weapons. They're blaming the O-line. They're blaming the injuries. But it's everyone's fault except for Jordan Love's. No, Jordan Love is ass. Thank you. And speaking of ass, thank you. The guy who coined that phrase, well, not allegedly because he tweeted it out, but Everson, he's one of my favorite Vikings of all time. Always wears hard on his sleeve, and he's one of those guys that we coined the phrase that he would play for $10 and a ham sandwich, and that's the type of guy that he was. Had some personal issues that he's been working through last couple years, and it looks like he's in a good spot right now. KSTP, go. This week's TRIA Prep Sports Salute honoree is the Minnetonka High School football team, who had a little extra help this season with former Vikings Pro Bowl defensive end Everson Griffin joining the program as an assistant coach. And it's great to see, man. And it's always my concern with players where their career ends and like they built their identity around being a football player. And some of these guys have a tough time moving on to the next chapter in life, whether they can't find the right thing or I don't know. But Everson, yeah, he's had his issues. So hopefully this is gonna help him with structure, help him keeping him involved in the game that he loves. And I think that he has a lot of. I think that he can find a lot of purpose in helping out young players and imparting the knowledge and paying it forward the way that coaches helped them out. So I'm really happy that Everson found something. Hell, maybe he'll rise up through the ranks. I mean, a lot of former players start in high school and then all of a sudden become college, or they get a quality control job in the NFL and then they rise up. And who knows? Maybe Everson Griffin will be head coach of the Vikings in 12 years after Kevin O'Connell hangs him up at age 48 after winning a dozen Lombardies in the next 10 years. Would love to see that, man. But that's it. That's at Vikings Thursday news dump for, what day is it? November 2nd? Sure. Let us know your thoughts and our thoughts in the comment section below. Subscribe for daily Vikings takes. Want to support the work? Put a little something in the Venmo. But next time, Skull Production Value.